selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector. Rewind selector.
Welcome to the IPA Champions Cup, live on Sporty Stuff TV. A warm welcome to our host, Kelly Scott.
Good evening and welcome to day 2 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. We're coming live from the Pride Media Centre in Gateshead every Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon and evening for the next 8 weeks. And today was a wonderful day yet again. Now, we predicted, well, I didn't predict, our resident expert Mark Pickworth, you predicted today was going to have quite a few shocks. Were they the shocks that you expected?
Yeah, oh yes, definitely, and I'm sure this won't be the end of the surprises throughout this tournament. But you know, today we saw that both these players, they'd deserved their place in the final tonight.
And from last night, we know that last night's final was very fast. I mean, it was speedy. It finished within an hour. Do you think it's going to be quite similar tonight, having seen how our players play today? Oh,
definitely. I mean, these two are probably two of the fastest players on our tour and in the world. You know, we've got the exciting play from the Dynamite and, of course, the fluent play from CROASDALE. So I'm expecting to see a cracker. So don't leave your seats because you could miss a trick or two.
Oh, completely agree with you. OK, then, well, why don't we get started and go to our commentary box with Dan Fairway, who is joined with Kevin Barton. But first, we'll welcome on our first player.
Let's welcome to the table a 3-time European champion and former under-21 champion of the world. It's Crowie, Andy CROASDALE.
Hello there, Crowie. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, good, Kelly. Thank you. Good.
You've been very lively all day. When you performed earlier on, you were really lively. And again, you do seem very confident. How were you in the break? What have you done to make you still feel so lively?
I've had a sleep for an hour.
Really?
And yeah, me and my son went and had some food. So yeah, looking forward to the final. And yeah, hope for the same result today.
And if you won this competition, if you won the tournament, how would you feel?
Yeah, fantastic. Like I said earlier, it's a long time since I won a tournament, so it will be a nice feeling, yeah.
You feel like it's about time?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Right there, well, why don't you go ahead, take a seat, and best of luck. OK, so we've got Crowie in position, but who is he playing tonight? Let's meet our next player.
Allow me to introduce a proud member of the Welsh national team, here with a point to prove. Explosive pull guaranteed. It's Dynamite, Nathan Davies!
Hello there, Nathan, or should I say Dynamite? Now, still big smiles on your face. I'm sure there was definitely big smiles after your game today.
Oh, relief I was.
Was it major relief? Definitely. How are the nerves at the minute?
A lot calmer than earlier, so hopefully a better performance as well.
Now, I will say, and if you're watching earlier on at home, you're quite expressive.
Yeah,
when you're playing.
Hoping to calm her down a bit now.
Yeah.
So,
is that something, yeah, you're going to try and keep it in check? Is that something that you think about? Or do you just not think about it? Is it natural?
A bit natural, yeah, but hopefully keep it on the down low in this game. So.
And how do you feel? Do you see that this is maybe the next step to going professional? Because potentially
hopefully,
it is.
Yeah, it's just nice to be a name on a map, doing well on a TV tournament in it. So.
And something I don't know if you watched earlier, you did make a comment about, you know, showing the old guys something. Are you seeing Crowie as one of those old guys? Are you going to show him how it's done today?
I'll be nice to him for now, so...
Oh, well, thank you so much. Go and take a seat and best of luck. Well, why don't we go over now to our commentary team? We've got Dan Fairway looking after things, and he's joined by Kevin Barton.
Thanks a lot, Kelly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Dan, to the commentary box again.
Good evening, Kev. What a day we had earlier.
So it's the Crowie who gets the action underway in tonight's final. And we put a poll on Twitter on at IPA Poll. A little poll just to see what our Twitter followers see how they see this final going, and we've got definitely a clear favourite, Dan.
We do. Dynamite Nathan Davies is, as of this second, has 61.9% of that vote. And I'm not convinced that everyone who's voted in that watched our matches earlier, because for me, the standout player of the afternoon was definitely Andy CROASDALE.
Yeah, he certainly was. He certainly put in a good performance. Solid performance rather than spectacular, but solid enough to get in tonight's final against a bit of an out of sorts Ivan Drago, Andy Blurton. And Nathan came through a bit of a scrappy one with Jamie Clark. But, you know, I think it's fair to expect a little bit of ring rust from these guys, Dan. You know, they've not played for 15 months competitively.
No, absolutely. It must be so difficult to come back to this kind of a situation, you know, because these players haven't had any warm-up tournaments or anything like that either. It's gone from nothing for 18 months immediately into probably one of the biggest tournaments they'll ever play in on live TV. But I'll tell you what, Andy CROASDALE isn't showing many signs of ring rust here. This is a brilliant finish so far.
Yeah, certainly great opportunity. Just going to dolly this one in dead weight. And just leave himself the tricky long yellow. But the way he's been queuing so far, Dan, I don't expect him to miss this.
Just left himself ever so slightly hampered by that red.
Frame.
And no mistake there from Crowe. I mean, what a dream start for him there. Breaking dish, 1-0. Over to you, Nathan Davies.
Absolutely. It wasn't the easiest of finishes either. That was a really nice finish from Andy, and that will be a big nerve settler in this second round match. Of course, not our first night anymore either. This is the second night of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. Ross Fernie through last night after a brilliant performance all day, knocking out Liam Dunster, was a highlight of yesterday's action. Who will join him in the third round, the last 16? Will it be CROASDALE or will it be Davies?
Well, I wonder if the Twitter vote might just shift a little bit after that opening the opening salvo there from Crowe.
Nathan Davies to break, trailing 1-0. Time running.
So how can Dynamite Davies respond? Pretty good break, and there's definitely a yellow gone down. But I think he'll be
concerned
reds
with the yellows here, Kev. Definitely not going to be concerned with those yellows. This is all about the reds, and it could all be about this first shot. It was a thin little snick as he fluked to yellow.
Well, I told you it was yellows, Dan.
In some way, in some ways, I think that's worse.
That is a nightmare scenario for Nathan. He's got a back double on this yellow on the right-hand corners. I think that's about his only shot.
Well, I think he'd prefer to cover the pocket here. He's got the treble.
Well, it's all happening in his first two shots.
Well, he's put his hand up twice in 2 shots to apologise to his opponent. But I have to say, I'm not convinced it's done him any favours once again. I cannot see how Nathan Davies can get out from here.
He actually might consider a safety here. Off the yellow and screw the white back into the cluster.
Oh, that's a lovely shot.
Total snooker.
And all of a sudden, a missed pot, a fluke, another fluke, and he's in control.
This game is unbelievable sometimes, Kev. It's a good return, though, from Andy. Not left Nathan anything, really. He might find himself back in the same spot, though.
If there's an edge of that red visible, then the white ball will need to hit a cushion after contact, which there was. You couldn't just roll up to that because you could see the edge if you're new to the rules. And I think Nathan Davies will be eyeing up this 2-ball plan.
This isn't made at all, though. This is tricky. And he hasn't made it. Nathan Davies hands over the table to Andy CROASDALE. It's still not an easy finish. He's got just the one problem. That yellow Nathan just played has covered that pocket, particularly for the red on the right-hand side of the table, which Andy's tried to move now, and that is a great shot. Now it is Andy's frame to lose.
Yeah, judged that very well. He was stretching. And as we've seen over the opening 2 days, if you don't quite hit that white correctly, you can either overstun, hit it too hard,
10 seconds.
All sorts of different options, but controlled it well, and great opportunity to take a nice little early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I have to say, I think the pace of this table has caught out a few of our players so far, and it's made some very good players at times look a little bit silly. But that is what most players, I think, want. They want this speed of cloth, they want this reactivity, they want to be able to have that amount of control with the white. It's just that sometimes it catches them out when they get it.
Yeah, it can be very fine margins sometimes. You heard our referee Brian Moss there just call extension. So each player is allowed a 1/32 extension per frame. And they are playing to a 30-second shot clock. I'm not sure that'll cause these guys too much of an issue. That looks good.
Don't think anything's going to cause Andy CROASDALE an issue in this mood. He is playing some fine shots so far in this match.
Yeah, he looks in the mood to me. He is a very experienced player, Andy. I know he said he's not won a tournament for a while. He's probably not played in as many tournaments as he would have probably wanted over the last few years.
Frame.
But he is on the comeback, and we'll see if that comeback continues right after this break.
Frame 3. Andy CROASDALE break, leading 2-0. Time running.
Welcome back to the frame 3 of tonight's final here at the Pride Media Centre in Gateshead in the 2021 Champions Cup here on Sporty Stuff TV. And not the start that Andy CROASDALE wanted there, Dan.
1 free shot, 1 visit.
No, well,
Time running.
having said that, he is 2 up. We should say Andy CROASDALE 2-0 at the moment, but you can just see there one of the last balls rolled that cue ball into that top right pocket, and it's a big opportunity for Nathan Davies to get himself going in this match, and I think it's one he needs to take,
10
Kev.
seconds. Extension, please.
Yeah, he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to get 3-4-0 down before he gets a frame on the board, because the mountain might just be a little bit too high to climb. But it's it's still early days. We know the brutality of these rule sets. That a 2-3-0 lead can soon evaporate. In in 5, 6, 7 minutes. Such are the quality of these players and the speed and fluency that particularly these two guys are playing at. So no, we're certainly not going to write him off just yet. And certainly on Twitter, on the poll that we mentioned, he's still the favourite in people's eyes. It was about 55-45 last time I checked. But so if you want to have a vote on there, check our Twitter page at IPA poll and get yourself a little vote on there. Let us know who you think's going to win.
10 seconds.
Not what Nathan Davies needed at all. And as he did in his match earlier, showing some serious frustration there. I think he needs to be careful not to let that temperament boil over. It was in, I think, only the second frame when he pretty much missed his first ball earlier. He showed some real frustration, and he's showing it again there. Andy CROASDALE might be able to take advantage of that here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jamie Clark wasn't able to sort of capitalise on that frustration and just handed him some extra opportunities just to relieve that pressure. But I'm not sure Andy CROASDALE will. He's, as I said before, very, very experienced player. Played at the top level for many years on a sort of bit of a mini comeback, and at the moment he's bossing this final.
It's interesting you mentioned Jamie Clark there, Kev, because you're right. Jamie gave Nathan far too many opportunities, but if Andy was watching that match earlier, one thing he may have picked up was that Jamie Clark, at one point, and actually at a couple of points, sort of played on Nathan's temperament by throwing in the odd safety shot. He almost made him bleed at times.
So what's Andy got up his sleeve here? Click down the rail or the back double? It's the back double with that white stay up.
Just about. But it's not getting any easier. Another double on the black, surely.
Oh, what a great shot. Oh, unlucky. That was a great attempt.
Crowe gave it his best, but he's come up short with that shot. It really was an impressive attempt at the double. Hasn't quite made it, but he does have some salvation because that black has gone into an awkward position for Nathan, just forcing him into a safety.
Total snooker.
So our referee calls total snooker because Crowe can't see any part of that black.
Foul.
Which means he
One free shot, one
wouldn't
visit.
have to hit a cushion
Time running.
after hitting the black, but he didn't get enough swerve on that cue ball. Handed the initiative now to Nathan, who surely has got to make the most of this opportunity to build his confidence and start to get into the match.
Well, he missed one down the rail earlier on in the frame. For me, this is the key shot now.
Yeah, it helped that he didn't need to stun it in. He could just stroke it in and makes the pot just that little bit easier.
Not quite got that cue ball in prime position yet, Kev. This is an awkward little shot to the centre.
That's definitely got away from him, that shot. You can see there he's only got half a bag if he's going for the yellow that's nearest the white ball. I think he can pop the yellow that's furthest to the right hand side of the table into the centre, but this is going to take some nerve. Big shot. And he's missed it. Oh, it's gone in the top of the bag. Oh, I thought that had missed.
Perhaps a trick of our cameras, Kev.
I was just waiting for the cue to maybe get a little tap, but anyway, it's regrouped, back in prime position. And Dynamite Davies is about to get his first frame on the board, which he does, and just trails by 2 frames to 1. So I think a much needed frame for the Dynamite there, Dan.
Absolutely, I think 3-0 and including that missed chance might have been a lot to come back from, but Nathan will feel in the match now. You know, 2-1. He's not playing his best stuff yet, but he will have opportunities, and he just needs to be patient and take them when they come. For me, though, Andy's still playing the better of the two. Nathan made hard work of what should have been an easy finish in that last visit he had.
And just a point on Andy Croasdale's nickname, Crowy. Is that got to be the worst nickname of anyone in the competition? It feels like a bit of a lazy one to me.
Time running.
Well, the one thing I would say is I haven't seen all of the nicknames yet, but I don't think there are going to be many that are much worse than that. No, I think our audience could probably do a better job, Kev, coming up with something.
That is a very good idea. Very good idea, Dan. So if you've got a better nickname than Crowy for Andy Croasdale, let us know on Twitter. We'd love to hear your ideas. And who knows, if he wins this and goes on in the competition, we might even get him a new shirt with a new nickname on. We'll check the budget.
Have you got any ideas yourself, Kev, or do you not want to give anyone too many starting points?
I don't want to take anyone's ideas from them. I mean, even the Crow would have been better than Crowy, but just an opinion.
Would it be too late to change it if he got through to the next round?
Well, I think we could definitely change it. It's that bad. But in the meantime, he's doing what he does best, just clearing up these balls. I mean, I probably played Andy many years ago.
Extension,
probably
please.
more than I care to remember. Probably 25 years ago, and he was like dynamite around the table. Always being renowned as a great potter.
He's got himself on this one in the left centre, which was clearly the difficult ball to get onto. But he just took his time there to work out how he was going to get onto the next yellow.
Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, I think he can take the top yellow, the right-hand yellow of those three.
It's interesting, Kev. I've just had a message from one of our players, Scott Gillespie. He's told me he's not on Twitter, but he wants to contribute. He likes Crafty Croasdale.
Crafty Croasdale. It's a good start. Can anybody beat that?
Surely
I think
someone
we can do better than that. This long yellow, straight yellow into the top corner. Looks good all the way, never in doubt. And this black for a 3-1 lead to Crowy.
Frame.
What has Nathan Davies got to respond? We'll be right back after the break to find out.
Frame 5. Andy Croasdale at break, leading 3 frames to 1. Time running.
Welcome back, everyone. You join us in frame 5 of this race to 7, where Andy Croasdale Crowy is 3-1 up, against Nathan Dynamite Davies.
One visit.
And just as the same as the last commercial break, Andy Croasdale's white gets kicked in off.
Unbelievable, Kev. Crowe won't be able to believe his bad luck there.
He certainly won't. And we mentioned before the break that if you've got any ideas for a new nickname for Andy Croasdale, because we're not quite happy with Crowe. We think it's a bit lazy. And they're coming through on Twitter and on some other messages. And apparently somebody who knows runaround.
Yeah, I've been told by one of our IPA professionals, Jason Hill, as well. I've had a message from him in the break saying that he used to be known as Runaround. I actually love that name. I think that really suits him. I think Nathan might need a new nickname after that shot, though. That's not gone well at all.
Seconds.
Yeah, Nathan Davies, has he recovered it? He has recovered it. What a great shot that is from Nathan, but he'll have his head in his hands again because the cue ball has run and run and run. Well, he's kept Andy Croasdale at bay for now with that little containing safety, but I fear that's all it is. Andy's got a lot of options on the table. If he can just get this even marginally safe, he'll be okay. But I'm not sure that's good enough. It's another miss from Nathan Davies and another chance for Andy Croasdale. Nathan's got to be really careful because the form Andy is in, he is very capable of running away with this match. Just a couple of loose little errors. Andy's still making work for himself, though. But that is a beautiful little shot. Brings that red into play almost perfectly. Would have liked it to held up an inch before that pocket.
Extension, please.
This is a thin little snick now, and he's going to readjust his pattern, I think. Well, perhaps not. Feels he can hold it with quite a large amount of check side, I would think. In it drops.
I think it's just slightly landed on the wrong side of that red. He may just play it off the yellow. Just a hold position. Which he did, but didn't. Don't think he needed to play it as hard as that. I think he could have just stroked that in a lot slower. And yeah, this is one of those frames. Neither player wants to win it. I think both players know the importance of this frame. 3-2. Nathan still back in it quite easily. 4-1. Then there's clear daylight. But another error from the Welshman.
It's a tough leave though, isn't it, Kev? This is a horrible pot. If you're dropping it in the middle or if you're taking it long, this is not nice either way. But it was superbly executed. Superbly executed by Andy CROASDALE, and he takes a 4-1 lead over Nathan Davies.
Yeah, that was a big frame. Big frame there for Andy. Three frame advantage and okay.
So far, Andy and Nathan have gone toe-to-toe in this match, but it's Andy who's coming out on top. He slayed Ivan Drago earlier, and now it looks like he's blowing up the dynamite.
Davies to break, trailing 4 frames to 1. Time running.
Sixth frame, big break for Nathan. Needs something. Definitely doesn't need that. That is an awful slice of luck for Nathan Davies, and he will feel like his night is going from bad to worse. One awful time for an in-off. When you're 4-1 down, he hit the balls well. He made a red, but no luck there for the young Welshman. So far, Andy CROASDALE has been utterly ruthless. Hasn't taken any pity on his young opponent at all. I think Andy will be looking to leave the yellow over the right-hand side of the table for his last ball. Could be a slightly tricky little pot, and of course it will afford him good position on the black. Key shot here is just to stun across the table and leave himself relatively straight on that final yellow, and he'll be happy enough with that. This black then to go 4 ahead. Andy CROASDALE is 5-1 up in this race to 7. Crowe looks pretty relaxed in his chair there. I don't think Nathan will be relaxed at all. Dynamite's got some work to do if he's going to get back into this match. 5-1 is a very tall ask.
Frame
He
7.
essentially needs to win 6-1 from here on out, and it's Andy's break. He's been in off a couple of times in this match so far. But this time he's managed to keep the cue ball on the table. Unfortunately for him, he's kept everything else there as well. Time for Dynamite to get going. He certainly doesn't hang about around the table, but he could perhaps do with just taking an extra 3 or 4 seconds on these shots. Purely because he's run out of position a couple of times, he's made a couple of careless errors, and we can all see how fast and how well this table's playing. But it's certainly catching the players out. And I think Nathan's one of those who's been worst affected by it so far. That, though, is a beautiful shot. Superbly controlled. Keeps him in excellent position for this finish. Once again, lovely use of side there, just to get himself nicely on this final yellow. Oh my word, he screwed that back a mile. That was not what he needed, and this is now a massive shot for Nathan Davies. But in it goes. He does pull back the arrears. Nathan Davies trails by 5 frames to 2, and we will be back after this short break.
Frame 8. Nathan Davies to break, trailing 5 frames to 2. Time running.
And welcome back to the 8th frame here in this final. In a race to 7, the winner takes the place in the last 16 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. And just first of all, apologies for any technical issues. Just had a few little gremlins, but all resolved now.
I don't know what technical issues you mean, Kev. We've been enjoying the pool all night here so far on Sporty Stuff TV, and we might be enjoying a comeback here from Nathan Davies. He was 5-1 down, but he pulled it back with an excellent finish in the last frame to 5-2, and he looks as though he's found his form. Although that shot, every time I feel like Nathan's making a stride forward, it feels like he takes a step back for me in this game, Kev.
Yeah, he's trying to let his arm go, that's clear. You know, he's trying to force himself to get into this match. He's upped his pace around the table, and, you know, he's just trying to let the cue do the talking. But it feels like he's fighting himself at the moment. So he's moving,
yeah, I don't
just
think
trying to
it's
force the
himself.
issue.
I don't think it's just himself he's fighting either. He's fighting Andy CROASDALE, and Andy CROASDALE is putting him to the sword in this match as we go at the moment. And it's another great chance for Crowe. What a wonderful chance this is for Andy CROASDALE. It's been gift wrapped by Dynamite Nathan Davies. There might even be a ribbon or a bow on that one as well. This frame really has been handed to him on a plate. Simple black to the right centre for a 6 frame to 2 lead for Andy CROASDALE. And this has been a pretty phenomenal performance so far from him.
Yeah, it's certainly one-way traffic at the moment. And he's just picked up the pieces up. He's been gifted the opportunities, and you know, difference because Jamie didn't. So yeah, it's going to be disappointing for Nathan if he does lose this match. You know, he probably came here with high expectations, and I know our pundit Mark Pickworth had tipped him to win tonight, and at the moment that tip is not looking too rosy.
Frame 9. Andy Croasdale to break, leading 6 frames to 2. Time running.
Well, the one thing so far that hasn't gone right this evening for Andy Croasdale, you have to say, is his break. But at the worst possible time for Nathan Davies, it looks like he's found an absolute corker. These yellows are sat for Andy Croasdale. And this actually could be an even quicker match than last night when Ross Fernie dished up Connor Tracy by 7 frames to 2. We're running on roughly the same time.
It's just slightly run out of position there. I think the adrenaline will be pumping. He knows he's so close to taking his place in the last 16. He'll be able to watch everybody else over the next few weeks battle away, and he'll have the comfort of knowing that his place is secure. Just one final positional shot. It's okay.
Well, he recovered his position there a couple of shots ago magnificently. But now, like you say, just this one. Oh, this is a tough black for the win though, Kev.
Extension. Extension, please.
This black for the victory. Oh no!
Wow.
I didn't see that one coming.
Can't believe it.
That's just about the first pot he's missed in this match, and what a ball to miss. A lifeline for
Andy has
Nathan
been near
Davies.
faultless. He has been near faultless in this match. Like you say, it is a lifeline. It's not a nice finish though. You know, when you've got all 7 balls on the table, quite often there's a really nice pattern and you can work your way around. But even though there's no yellows in his way, I don't like those 2 reds on the right hand cushion, Kev.
No, they're a little bit tricky, but
10 seconds.
if he's thinking clearly, he might try to move them on this shot. And that has worked out perfectly. Took the tough shot on, knew the rewards would be there if he could make the pot, and he did. And you know, we're just starting to see little glimmers of you know, what Nathan Davies is about and why he's so highly regarded as you know, as a future top professional player.
Yeah, I think he, based on what I've seen of Nathan, he's definitely earned that tag of future professional. I don't think it'll be very long at all before he makes it into those ranks.
No mistake with the red, and this black to claw another frame back. In it goes from Dynamite Davies. Can he continue the...
Frame 10. Nathan Davies to break, trailing 6 frames to 3. Time running.
Welcome back. Referee Brian Moss gets the next frame underway, frame 10. Every frame is a must for the young Welshman. And that's a great start.
That last yellow rolling just about
Keep
dropped
the white
in
on the
for
surface.
Nathan Davies. And he will be delighted about that. It was absolutely what he needed, because if he left an open table there, it would have been a glorious chance for Andy CROASDALE to wrap the match up. Having already missed one glorious chance, but no! What has Nathan Davies done there? That's an awful miss.
Yeah, it just seems his game has been plagued by just careless errors, both in his match this afternoon and in the final. He just can't seem to stop making those unforced
10
mistakes.
seconds. Extension, please.
What a way to let the pressure on Andy CROASDALE off, though. Andy, of course, missed a tricky black, but missed a black for the match, nevertheless, in the last frame. And then we'll have seen that last yellow drop in off the break. You know, it might have just got his heart racing, might have just got him thinking, what if it's not my day? What if he comes back? And then Nathan goes and misses that one in the centre. Unbelievable.
You've seen a few balls missed in that centre back. Mr. Nice Guy, Connor Tracy, he missed a couple in his couple of matches yesterday. I just have to measure it, make sure it's the right size.
I think that's a very fair point, actually. I've seen a lot more balls, I feel, missed in the centre pockets than the corner pockets so far. Well, I've just seen one missed in the corner pocket by a mile.
That was, well, that wasn't even anywhere near the knuckles, let alone the pocket. Is Andy CROASDALE beginning to feel the pressure?
I think
as he let his mind get ahead.
That's the worst shot I've seen Andy CROASDALE play all day. That was, he cued right across that ball.
I mean, he was playing it with a lot of left-hand side. He did have to, you know, disturb that yellow, but for a player of his ability, that was wow. That was not even in the right postcode area at all. If Nathan Davies can take this frame 6-4. Certainly hitting the ball with a lot more conviction these last few frames. I know he's still made a few errors, but certainly playing with more authority. Where was this Nathan Davies 4 or 5 frames ago?
Well, it might not matter, Kev, because like you say, this is going to be 6-4. It's only potentially Andy CROASDALE dry break away from what, 6-all. You know, what, one reverse dish, one break dish. We see it all the time at this level.
We certainly do, and he's certainly capable. He's dynamite to Claude.
He is very capable indeed. Dynamite Nathan Davies. Looking
nice split. Easy ploppings. Get over the line. Both players focused in the chairs. I think even though the score is 6-4 to Crowe, I think maybe Nathan Davies might be actually feeling the more positive of the two at the moment.
Frame 11. Andy CROASDALE a break, leaving 6 frames to 4. Time running.
I think that's a very fair point, Kev, but a lot depends on this break. If these come out easy, then Andy might not be too bothered about the scoreline. And wow, look at those reds.
That is exactly what he needed. Can he hold himself together and finish the job off? It's all about working out the right pattern. What's his best ball to get to the black and to make it as easy as possible. There's certainly 3 or 4 different ways he could go about this finish. Will he pick the right one?
Well, he doesn't need to pick the right one, Kev. He just needs to pick one that works. By hook or by crook, Andy CROASDALE will be desperate to get over the line at this point. He's missed a couple of good chances to wrap up this match so far. But you have to say, this is probably the last even remotely difficult shot he should have. Just stretching over that yellow. In it goes. Is he slightly off angle on this red? How does he just run it through for the black?
He was absolutely perfect, Dan. And this pretty straightforward black for Crowe to take his place in the last 16. And in it goes. Andy CROASDALE, well played. Unlucky Nathan Dynamite Davies just made too slow a start in the match, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a poor start from Nathan, if we're honest. I think he would be the first to admit that. He will feel like he's had a lot more to give here today, but Andy CROASDALE, to be fair, played pretty much flawless pool for the first few frames.
Absolutely, Dan. And we'll hear from both players.
And welcome back to day 2 of the 2021 Sporty Stuff TV Champions Cup. I'm joined with our resident expert, Mark Pickworth. Mark, that last game, what did you make of it?
Well, we said it was going to be fast and furious, and you know, both these players played exactly what we thought they would, and you know, it was a real credit to them both. They made a good final and a good show.
They definitely did, and I'd like to welcome over first the Dynamite to come and join us. Now, how was that game for you, Nathan? How did you find it?
Enjoyable game. It was quick and fast, like I thought it'd be, but just a bit gutted really not to be able to settle on the table. Caught me out a few times again, but it's my own fault for not settling on the table. But it's a good experience for the next tournament now, which is televised. So. How
did that differ from your game earlier on today?
A lot less nerves now, like obviously because I've already had a go on the table, but still nervous obviously, but nowhere near as bad as earlier. So.
And what did you think, Mark, of the game?
Yeah, I mean, like he's already said, you know, he felt a bit of the nerves. He's missed quite a few balls today, and he'll probably sort of admit himself, he weren't up to his normal standard. You know, what was sort of things, you know, you mentioned a bit about the nerves. Was there anything else in the room that made you miss a few more balls than normal?
No, I don't think so. It was just the table has been in my head all day, to be honest, and I couldn't get the grips with it. I had 2 full games on it, so I should have got the grips with it by then, but I just couldn't settle with it, so... on to the next one now and hopefully be better next time.
Well, we did all notice the mini comeback though. So did it feel good when you started getting back into it again?
Obviously, he missed the black to win. So I just thought, I've got nothing to lose now. Just let the arm go and see what happens. And there was a little bit of a comeback going on, but obviously he took a nice finish then to get over the line and win. So credit to Andy.
It was a brilliant game though, wasn't it? We did definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, we heard the commentators say, you know, you sort of got to that sort of stage where you was like 6-2 down, and then all of a sudden you got, you know, you could just see the difference in your pace and the way that you was going about your game. Is that what was happening?
Just totally just like, it was like, because I was so far behind, I just thought just open up and see what happens, and obviously it was a little bit tighter at the start of the match, and I should have done it earlier, really, maybe, but no, I enjoyed being here, so it's a good experience for next time when I'm on the TV. So.
Okay, well played.
Good. We've enjoyed a big smiley face being here today. Thank you so
cheers,
much.
Thank you.
See, we love a bit of dynamite, and obviously we have to meet the winner. Come join us. I'm not really sure what to call you now, because if you won't know, on Twitter there's been a whole thing about if they change your name, what would they change it to? So you'll check it out later. So rather than Crowe,
something good.
There's been loads.
I'm sure there has.
Well, there's been quite a few.
Good fun ones.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because the commentary team were saying, you know, just threw it out there and thought, you know, let's change his name. Why not? Okay. But we don't need to change your game, definitely, because you won. How did that feel?
Yeah, I was very pleased to get over the line in the end. I think I fell over the line a little bit towards the end. But yeah, really happy to get through and qualify, and looking forward to the last 16.
Definitely. How did you feel when you missed that black? You nearly fell off the chair through there.
The way Poole rolls, I kind of knew that he was gonna sort of, he had nothing to lose, like he said, and I knew there was going to be a bit of a comeback. So when I was breaking, I was just hoping I was going to pot one, not going off, and take my chance, and I did do in the end. So.
And Mark, what did you make of it?
I mean, you showed some great form early on, didn't you? You know, the way you're just so fluent. You know, you lived up to the name that I was predicting what you was like. You know, and then you got down to sort of, you know, where it was just getting a bit closer. Did you feel a bit edgy?
Not really. It's a bit of inconsistency that's in my game, to be fair, that I need to try and eradicate and get rid of. And if I can do that, I'm a match for anybody. But that's the problem that I have at the moment that I need to try and change. So. Okay.
And also, you know, we mentioned, you know, in the afternoon's game, your break let you down a bit. Did you change anything of that? I mean, did it improve or didn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly improved, but I've still got a lot to work on with my break. I've been playing for 35 years, I still don't know how to break.
I've got a few stats if you wanted to go through.
No, I'd rather not, no. I could do with a break teacher.
Okay. Well, congratulations. And you need to keep practicing your break for, is it June the 30th? You're going to be back with us?
Wednesday, June the 30th. When you're back.
I look forward to it, yeah.
Well, congratulations and thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Cheers. Thanks.
So, that's it. We've got our next one. So that's 2 down.
Yeah.
In the top 16. And obviously you've been making your picks. Is that one that you did pick?
Unfortunately not, no. I've got none out of 2 so far, but we'll have to see.
And now, if you don't know what we're on about here, we have our pickers' picks, which I'll just move over slightly so you can have a little look. We're going to be talking about that very shortly. Probably he didn't get it right this time, but potentially he could get it right next time.
Of course, it's going to come good.
Join us in a few minutes after the break to find out all about it.